Good morning and happy Saturday. Oh, it is just morning. Um, I've had one of those mornings. Oh, this is the East Coast Dragon Lady coming to you on Saturday morning, the 18th of April. So we're officially like halfway through April. I don't know where this quarter's gone from January to April, but I've had one of those mornings where I do something and I feel like I do it like time jumping, I guess, is what's happening. Um, because I literally put my laundry on. It felt like I did a couple of things and it was done, and I don't even remember it going through the cycles. So, definitely, there's shifting going on. There's multiple timelines happening all at once, and some of us are in them, some of us are not. And I think I'm answering my own question from this week, which was there was like shifting going on for me. I felt like one minute I was here, one minute I was there, one minute I had this sort of attitude, another time I had that one. So I'd be interested to know if that's what others have been going through. So when I was getting ready to come on and do this, um, I was drawn to the Akashic records, and then in the past I have connected with my Akashic dragons, but I have one particular dragon that works with me, or worked with me when I was learning how to access the Akashic records, because I thought that I didn't know how to do it. But what I realize is that everybody has their own way of accessing the Akashic records. So if you don't know, the Akashic records are a record of our soul that holds all the information about our soul gifts, chosen life experiences, and the karma you are still repeating in this lifetime. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed and are unsure of the cause, the Akashic Oracle of Truth can provide you with objective spiritual insights into choices you are making in different areas of your life. So I thought I would pull some cards for the collective. This is the one I've been using, Akashic Records, the Truth Oracle. It's Saint Paling. I'll post a picture of it on my Facebook. I actually used them this morning, and they were spot on. So I thought, let me use my knowledge and my dragon. So I just reconnected with him. His name is Taj. I actually met him when I was doing a meditation between mountains. So the meditation took us up to a plain where there was open water, I think was the term. I saw it as a big lake, and while I was looking into the lake, this dragon appeared behind me. He actually came out of the lake, huge. He is as big as a mountain, and he told me his name was Taj. So he is specifically for to help me with the Akashic records. So he's here with me now. He said that was his chosen name. And as you've heard me say before, not all dragons like to have names. So this is interesting. The first one I called is Connect to Intuition. Repeating the patterns you are keeping you from making new choices in this situation. Break free from old ways of thinking and ask for new insights. So I'm going to ask for guidance for the collective for this upcoming week, which will be the week of the 19th of April. Taj and any other dragons, angels, archangels, Akashic guides. What is the message for me to share with the collective for today? So a collective Akashic record message, if that's possible. You can do your own Akashic reading if some of you may already do it. I've always been a bit hesitant because I always want to see everything at once. And actually what they were telling me this morning was to go ahead and use this to guide me. So the first one is difficult road. Spirit of perseverance, being prepared for great things, walking the hard path in life. So I think it's be prepared for a difficult road ahead. This is a collective message. And I asked specifically for the week beginning the 19th of April. There's a difficult road ahead. I think that connect to intuition is, so 2 cards have come out. So difficult road ahead. Consider the options. You've narrowed your focus to one desired outcome, and you might be missing a big opportunity. Open up and let the universe send you the highest possible results. And then this card came out, inner peace. You are letting outside circumstances create turmoil and frustration within you. Remember, you'll always have the power to choose your response. Let inner peace attract higher vibrational outcome for you. So I think that goes along with, I would say specifically for us here in the United States, that because of the difficult roads ahead, we need to consider our options. And one of those options is to not listen to all the chatter that goes on outside the media. That includes Facebook. I started to follow somebody who I thought was giving me truthful information. It was from his perspective. And then I felt like, can I trust it, right? Because it was only one side, even though he was quoting multiple sources, and it was his opinion. And we've got to remember that what people talk about on YouTube, same for me, what I talk about is my opinion. It isn't like the absolute truth. And the same as when we get messages, they're like, this is going to speak to certain people, and those people will be drawn to this. I will again put in a little plug for myself to say that if you would like help, and I've put this on my website and I've also put it on my Facebook page, that if you would like help, the dragons are really good at tapping into what's happened, where you are now, and what is in the future. I do that through tapping into them. They're also very honest, so it's not like you won't get a load of fluff, is what I always say. So if it's a specific situation, they say, this happened, this is where you are, and this is the outcome. Or sometimes they will give you, oftentimes the solution is, they won't give you you need to do this. They have a really nice way of talking about it. So see it through. So we've got difficult road, consider the options, inner peace. You don't always finish what you start and then talk badly to yourself because of it. Break the karmic pattern by seeing a project through to the end and then be proud of your accomplishment. So I'm sure that speaks to a lot of us. Certainly speaks to me. So that's interesting. So do we need one more for this week, this upcoming week for the collective? So if you've started something, you need to see it through, but don't beat yourself up if you didn't. Patience. You're being asked to practice patience right now. It's not easy to do this, but you're strong, and there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them to in the moment. Have patience, it will eventually work out. So that is interesting as what has happened this week for me. Um, I know I've talked before about I had expectations of outcomes. It's a bit, so some of this is sort of talking to that. Um, my ego surfaced for the first time to show me what ego was and how ego can get in the way, but it can also be a lesson. Um, so I thought, and this often happens to me in my life, I think I'm going in one direction and then something happens and it takes me over here. So I work in the mental health field, and it wasn't always my choice. Um, I told the story actually to my boss yesterday how when I was in nursing school, and this was many years ago, I'm talking the 70s, we in England we had a choice to do midwifery or psychiatry, and I remember saying out loud, "Oh, I'm going to do a psych rotation because there's no way I'm going to touch the mental health field. Absolutely no way. Maybe pregnant women, but no way am I going to be doing that." So I did a 12-week psych rotation. And here I am now. So when I moved to this country, I've not practiced here as a nurse, but my kids got diagnosed. My two boys were diagnosed in their early teens with some mental health diagnosis. Um, and I found that I was now wanting to understand, what does this mean? Why does it happen? Why is it happening to children? All those questions. And there I am. I fell into work because I was divorced. I needed a full-time job, and one of our caseworkers from DMH said, "I know exactly the job for you." And she introduced me to the job, working as what we were called then was a parent partner, which we were parents that partnered with other parents and sort of supported them through a crisis, supported them through our, we did like an evaluation of the family and figured out what support they needed and which agencies worked with them. That then became another next job when in the early 2000s, 2008, when there were then family partners, which then became a professional job with a title and a job description. I stepped into that. I became a senior family partner because of my lived experience, and I found myself then working for Mobile Crisis because we were in a constant state of crisis with my younger son, and that's what I knew. And I could literally walk people through crisis with their kids, support them through it. And it was something I was good at, right? It allowed me to talk about where I'd been, and help people understand, like, this too shall pass. And it does. I mean, my oldest son grew up, went to college, had some struggles, but now is very successful. My younger son lives with, well, they both live with me. He still struggles with his mental health. But, I'm here to, again, support him through that. And now I work for the last 10 years, I've worked for the Department of Mental Health. And again, for the longest time, I wasn't seen, right? I was in a position where I was meant to be the voice of family at state level. And that's I could do a whole video on that. But I've recently got a new boss who totally understands my role, what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. And that's what came up at the end of this week. So here I was struggling with things that I thought were going to be the direction I was going in. And again, I'm coming back to maybe I'm not retiring just yet, because now I'm going to be taking my chosen career in the mental health field and expanding that, because I also know that people will come after me, and I need to make sure that this is that they are seen for the value that they bring to the work, because there's something very special. It's not the same as being a social worker. It's not the same as being a supervisor. It is about, you're a parent, you've lived it, you've been there, done it, and got the t-shirt, which is what I always say. So I feel that even though there was a disappointment over here and I was going this way, I'm now going back to, my paid job, and I'm getting more kudos from the dragons. My dragons, who are my guides, who are always have been very quiet. My son told me that it was because they didn't want me to do certain things, so they were letting me make my choices. So that's sort of a brief where this brought me. So it's really about like when we think this, we're convinced we should be doing something, there is another plan, and that's where the Akashic records can help us as well. So I would encourage you, if you don't know a lot about the Akashic records, look them up. If it's something that speaks to you, I've got a couple of decks of this other one. Even though it's the Sacred Soul, it feels very much like the Akashic records to me. So I'm going to pull some cards from this as well. So we're having some very typical New England. We've had spring, and then it's got cold, and then it warms up again. So that's why I've got some top on. This morning it was cold. So who knows what the weather's going to bring. This is here in Massachusetts. It's Marathon Monday. So I have Monday off, which is nice. I'm actually going out to lunch with a friend on Sunday, so that's good. And I put this on, even though I'm probably going to be hot. I just needed some colour today. It really felt like I needed to bring some colour in. Actually, talking about that, I posted, I just discovered through my friend Amanda, what was it called? I posted a painting drawing that I did with her. She introduced me to neurographic art. I don't know if this is going to show up here. I'm going to try and get it close as possible. If you've not heard of it, Google it or look on YouTube. It's really very freeing, is what I'm going to say. I think that's the word. Because you're so absorbed in doing these squiggles and then rounding everything off and colouring it in, that's what you focus on, and it really helps the neural pathways. So yeah, if you've got time, so the other thing I did was, so my son needs some other things to do, and I've talked about that a lot. I thought I'd found him an art class, and then he's decided that no, he doesn't want to go if nobody's going to be speaking. It wasn't a group really for him. But we just bought some, what is it called? It is air-dried clay, because he really wanted to do some pottery. I found a class, and it was like $500 and I don't even know if he's going to like it. So yeah, he's one of these people who sign up for something and go once and like, I didn't get it, or it's too hard. So I'm like, let's try this. So I might be doing some of that with him. So I'm going to ask again, what do you have to tell us for this upcoming week, the week of April 19th? No boundaries, difficult to establish healthy respect. Take care and ensure your needs are met. Oh, so making sure your needs are met. That if you've got no boundaries, then that's what happens. Resentment is often festered, causing a desire for revenge. Let go of the past to find peace. So I think we often need that message. It is a good global message as well. Self-sabotage, undermining your success by procrastinating, negative self-talk, or fear of failure. And one more. Ooh. Insecurity, fear of not being good enough. Build confidence and love your uniqueness. All right, so we have to talk about that. So let's see what we can do to raise our vibration this week. I've still been posting these. I love these. They're Kyle Gray's cards. They're almost like positive affirmations, which I like to pull every morning. And I think I've done them every morning this week. So let's see. Oh, I got this yesterday. I am surrounded by angels. So clearly we're surrounded by angels if this one's come up again. And this is for the week of the 19th, please. This doesn't want to come out. All right. I want 5 cards for this week, please. This upcoming week. What affirmations do we need? Take the weight of the world off your shoulders. It comes with the stop worrying, right? Call in your angels. Let your inner fire warm you, not burn you. So get that inner fire going. It's 3. I am supported on my path. There's a beautiful dragonfly there, and they're going to be appearing soon. I hear the hummingbirds are going to be here. I actually bought a really nice hummingbird feeder, which I can't wait to, because last year I had quite a few of them looking for nectar. I clear my energy field. So yeah, that's important. So just before I came on, that's exactly what I did. I grounded myself, I connected, I cleared my energy, brought in protection. So I really have to step that up again because I haven't been feeling it. I don't know what that means, but I haven't been feeling it. I know I got very, I said this the other day when I jumped on for Real Talk. I was just like, I was tired. I think so many of us have been tired as well. I've got 2 trees like blooming outside here. So I've got the scratchy voice. I've got the, I know that it's pollen because by the evening I've got my air filter going. So I'm doing everything I can. I did have my second acupuncture, which is helping. I felt like on Thursday I spoke too soon. I'm like, oh, it's great. I really don't have much pain at all. And then because Friday afternoon, it was like, we're back, which is usually a sign that I need to rest. So these, again, this deck jumped out at me, the Divine Feminine. So let's see what the Divine Feminine has to tell us. So that's 1. All right. Oh, Joan of Arc. Interesting. So my hands are not happy. So I have acupuncture for my hands and my back. Joan of Arc is the warrior of light. I have a still like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. So Joan of Arc energy. I think we definitely need that. This is Mar Bargo, the warrior saint. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. I will post these as well. And then Akin Akalinda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. That's almost like Kali. That's another deck I haven't used for a while. It's the Kali Ma. So let's see what was on the bottom. Sappho, the poetess. I love every inch of my body, and I love the woman in my life, fiercely. So, this is Megan Watterson. Beautiful art. So I think that I don't know whether. So what is Taj saying? He's just reminding us that the Akashic records are part of who we are. This is a channeled message from him. The Akashic records are ours. We have every right to access them. And if you're ever told you don't, then you're not speaking to the right person, is what he's saying. That you need to back out, ground yourself, and go back in. I'll briefly tell you that a trick I learned, or a way of doing it very quickly to get to the Akashic records is to use the elevator. So you see yourself walking in on the ground floor of an elevator, turning around, pressing the third floor. For me, it's the third floor. Go up to the third floor, and as it opens on the third floor, you're in the Akashic records, and everybody sees them differently. Right now, as I'm describing it, Taj is showing me a very cloud-like, angelic, puffy clouds. I think they're doing this for my benefit. It's like angels passing with harps, and they're going, yeah, okay, so my dragons can sometimes be funny. But they're saying you're going into an etheric realm. It's where your soul has laid down your stories. And a lot of people see it as hallways with many records. You ask for yours. If you're doing the reading for somebody else, you need to know their name, date of birth, place of birth, and their current place where they're living, because it allows it to be like, and then either they will float out, those records will float out, and they will open. I see them as big leather-bound books, and literally the page opens, and sometimes you will either see words, a scenario will be played out. They're showing me it's like opening a big leather-bound book, and then what's in there will come up. And because you're asking now in this time where you are, you're going to be shown what you need to know. Or you can ask that question. If you have a specific thing you want to know, you can ask that before you ask for them to go and get your records, or for the records to be brought to you. Now, that might be a being that brings, this is all channeled, by the way. They're saying it may be a being that comes to you with them. They may float out. You may go and find it, because again, you're going to find your records. But if you ask for directions, ask to be specifically taken there, because they're also showing me there are so many halls and so many things that you need to be directed to where you're going. So this is interesting, because I've done some of this, but this is what they're showing me now to explain to you. So once you have, so the other thing, before you get in the elevator, you're going to, be grounded. You're going to bring in whatever guides you have. When I was doing a training on Akashic records, I discovered my Akashic guide, which happened to be a dragon. Different people have different guides that specifically, or they may just show for you. You can ask them who they are. Angels can do it, archangels. So once you've done all that, you've gone up there, and when you're done, the records get returned. You go back to the elevator, you press ground level. When you come out, you disconnect. So coming out of that door and the door's closing behind you is your disconnect. You have to remember to disconnect. I did it a while ago and I forgot for about 15 minutes and I felt very spacey. And I was like, oh, wait, I'm still in the Akashic records, because I was so excited about what I found. I forgot to go down and disconnect. So you do need to disconnect. Otherwise, you're up in the Akashic records, which is, they're showing me above, they're saying above the 12th dimension. They're very high. So that can cause you some, like if you don't disconnect or you come down too fast, you don't ground yourself, you might feel a bit of nausea or travel sickness, that sort of thing. So I hope that's been helpful. It literally came to me as I started doing this. And there's so much, I'm sure you can even go on YouTube and find how to access your Akashic records, because these days you either Google it, AI will either tell you or whatever. So I hope everybody has, so I'm at like 30 minutes. So I hope you have a good weekend wherever you are. If you're off on Monday, enjoy Monday. I know here, I think it's going to be cold and wet. But nonetheless, it's a day from work, which means next week is a short week. So have a good week. If I have any more real talk, I will come back in the week.